Hello, it's been a while since we've seen y'all. We've been having lots of fun, and I'm sorry it's taken us so long to get this video out.
When we last talked to you, we had just arrived at Sunset Cove Marina, right by the Bolsover lock on the Trent Severn waterway.
So, we've got a few updates to tell you. When we were at the Bolsover Marina,
Sunset Cove Marina
in Bolsover, Canada, that was a really fun stop. They had some swings there. You know, the man didn't swing me that high. Sure, I'm glad you came, Joshua. Yeah, he didn't want to come. I mean, really. They had a horse farm across the street. Even the dockmaster took us. We needed to go get some provisions, so he took us out one day, and we did that. We did some fishing.
Joshua did some fishing.
Yeah, Joshua.
He didn't have a fishing pole.
Yeah.
He didn't have fishing line.
We didn't fish.
So he ended up taking a paper clip, bending it into a hook, and tying it to a piece of paracord. I thought, well, that's never going to work. But he caught a fish with it.
It was so much fun, and he was so excited. So we had a great time doing it. Don't need any guidance. We got it. Here we go. Catching some dinner. Kill him, pull him up. In that. Also, Martin had to do a little bit of work. That's the reason we were at that marina. We had a part coming in. So the bow thruster.
When we were at the Kirkfield lift lock, the bow thruster failed. Turns out the contactor had died. So we ordered a new contactor and had it shipped to this marina. So we spent some time. We spent a couple of days there, and we replaced the contactor on the bow thruster.
So we got that fixed. Everything was up and running, and then we take off again on our next adventure.
Currently in the middle of Lake Simcoe. Weather is beautiful. Very little wind. Almost flat calm. Went through several locks. One of the most interesting was Swift Rapids lock. That's a big lock. That was 48 foot lift in a single conventional lock. When you're down at the bottom of it, it's like being in a cave.
So we were talking to the lockmaster coming in, saying, should we stay up? Should we stay down? He said, well, it doesn't matter. You can stay wherever you want. However, if you stay below the lock, you've got 78 steps to get up to the bathrooms and the spillway and whatnot. So we stayed on the top.
.47-foot single basin lock.
And then we explored, we walked around, and we went to the spillway, and we have pictures of the falls. I mean, it was fascinating. It was a good time there. And that is at Swift Rapids, I think, is where we met Brad and Julie.
On Bad Parents.
And we kind of got to know them while we were there spending the night. And we traveled together after that, which was a hoot. It was wonderful having a buddy buddy. Okay, we are entering Lock 43, Swift Rapids Lock. We will be lowered 47 feet, I believe. We're going to be the first boat in the lock. I got to get our lines.
challenge for you engineers out there. Calculate the forces on those doors with 47 feet of water on them. Reminds me of the old King Kong movie.
This is Bad Parrots coming out of the Swift Rapids lock, the 40-something foot. Maybe we can send it to them. Oh! Here's a picture of the waterfall from the other end. We went up last night. We stood at the top of it. It was so impressive. So this is another side of it that we get to see as we leave. Love you. Bye.
I got some neat pictures we'll show you where we were passing underneath the railroad bridge at the same time the train passed over us, and they got a picture of us going underneath there.
Yes, so Julie, that's one of my favorite pictures of all time. Thank you for doing that. We did the Big Chute.
Big Chute is the end of the Trent Severn waterway. It connects to the Georgian Bay, but there's an invasive species that they did not want to introduce, so there's no water connection between the two. They take your boat and they put it on it's like a giant railroad car, and they lift you out and they take you over the road and put you into the Georgian Bay on the other side.
All right, we got our headsets going here.
He's saying watch your stern, Bruce.
And the cool thing about it, we've been communicating with harbor hosts there, Lynn and Pat. And they said, let us know when you get there and we'll come meet you and we'll take pictures. So they were there. We met them. They took pictures as we went over the Big Chute. And then the marina where we stayed that night, they also came. And at that time, Bad Parents, Brad and Julie were there with us, and Pat and Lynn came and helped us and talked to us and did some planning together. So it was a very nice visit, and we appreciate it.
That was at the Penetanguishene Town Dock Marina.
Yeah. And we were very, very close to a Catholic church. St. Anne's Catholic Church was on top of the hill. So that was most convenient. So we went to church. Joshua and Bruce went with us. And we were there a couple of days. So I even got to go to daily mass the next day too. So
After church, we
Oh,
went and
yeah.
stopped at Flynn, what's it called? Flynn's Public
Flynn's
House.
Public House, a little Irish pub.
And I wish I could remember the name of the dessert
Yeah.
that we had, but Bruce said, if you've never had this, you've got to have it. It was some kind of cake, and it was delicious.
I can't remember the name of it, but it was the most awesome dessert. And Bruce couldn't believe we had never had that before. So he said, oh, we've got to order that. So we ordered 2 orders, and I'm not sure who finished theirs first. Was it Martin or was it Joshua? But it was delicious. We just have to remember what the name of it was. And then,
After, that's all we did at Penetanguish, right?
Yeah.
So then after that, we left to we planned with Lynn and Pat. We did some planning, and with Brad and Julie about where we're going to go, and it was all agreed we're going to go to Three Finger Bay.
so we traveled with a buddy boat.
So
It was
they
fun.
followed us all the way to Three Finger Bay. It was kind of scary looking at the when we were planning the route, because there were some areas where it said it was 2 feet deep on some charts. On other charts, it said it wasn't. But we never had any issues going through the small boat channel. It was always plenty deep. So we anchored that night in Three Finger Bay.
It was absolutely beautiful. It was calm, quiet, just scenery. It was just peaceful. But we do have a wonderful picture of the next morning. Martin and I were sitting on the helm having our coffee, and we have pictures of the sunrise. It was spectacular.
Okay, I also got visited by a hummingbird while sitting on the back. In the middle of this big bay, there's no flowers around the boat,
Yeah.
but this hummingbird came up and visited Kay.
It was just so beautiful because, they make the cutest little sound. So after that, we went to Carling Bay Marina.
They needed to have some work done on their boat, so we took the boat, we went to Carling Bay Marina, and we were there for, I think we stayed another week or 2,
Yeah.
and they still had work to do, so we needed to get home. So unfortunately, we had to end our trip there, but we got a bonus. They had rented a car, and they took us. We all went to Niagara Falls. So we spent the night in Niagara Falls. We did the whole tour of Niagara Falls. Fascinating.
That was so cool. Caroline said, oh, I've signed us up for a tour, 3.5-hour tour. And I thought, a 3.5-hour tour. We were able to go behind the falls. We were able to go almost right beside the falls. Of course, you had to wear your ponchos. And then we got on a boat, and they drove us right up to the falls.
Well, to begin with, we went up the tower. There's a big story tower right next to the falls. We went up there, took some video
That was
pictures.
185, 75, 85 feet above the falls. So we got some great pictures there, and it had an observation tower so you could walk around and see in all directions.
So from there, the next day, we went to Toronto, and we visited Casa Loma. It's a castle. And okay, tell them something about the history of Sir Henry Pellet. And
Casa Loma Castle was fascinating. It was Sir Henry Pellet built this home for he and his wife. And he never finished building the home. They ended up moving in before the house was finished. They had a bowling alley. They had a swimming pool. They had luscious gardens all over the place. And when the castle was built, there wasn't a lot of high-rise and whatnot, so they could see Lake Ontario from their house. Let's see. Oh, this castle has been the home of
lots of movies.
Yeah,
They
lots
filmed
of
lots
movies.
of movies there.
One of the movies we have enjoyed was The Pacifier.
With Vin Diesel.
The swimming pool was never finished in Casa Loma, and there's only one person that's been swimming in the swimming pool, and it was Vin Diesel in the movie Pacifier. So we thought that was kind of fun. Cocktail with Tom Cruise was filmed there. The X-Men, The Vow. But anyway, we did tour the castle and had a good time doing that.
After we left the castle, we went to the distillery district, which is, it's a little closed area. You can't drive in there. You park and walk in. It's got their shops and restaurants and pubs.
They had live music. They had somebody teaching line dancing. We are at the distillery in Toronto. It's actually a big area with restaurants,
It's the very first line dance that I ever learned to do. So,
all kinds of fun
it was
stuff.
the first one I learned. It's going to be the first one I'm going to teach you guys tonight.
And they had locks of love, which was so cool. You could buy a lock, and then you could go over on the wall and write your name or whatever you wanted to and put it on there. I've got a picture of that. And look at here. Locks of love. This whole display is nothing but locks. Locks of love. Love you. We ate dinner. We had probably one of the best dinners.
I don't remember what I ate, but it was good.
Beer.
Beer was good too.
Yeah, so we just had a great time with Caroline and Joshua and Bruce hanging out there, and then we went back to the boat.
No, we went
to a hotel.
Spent the night there, and the next morning we got up, and
And
the hotel was lovely. They had a really nice breakfast included, so we had breakfast with they all came down to breakfast with us.
Yes,
Then we got on the airport shuttle and went to the airport and
and then we left.
flew home.
So, but I just cannot thank Bruce and Caroline and Joshua enough for it was a trip of a lifetime. Their generosity and their hospitality it was overwhelming. We have thought about it. We have missed them. It's so many little things happen, and you're like, oh, it reminds us of being together. So thank y'all for joining us and sharing. Thank you for joining us, and as usual, we send blessings to everyone.
And as always, enjoy your journey.
Love you.